So I'd like to invite our second Tier 2 team up, UC3M. Locals.
Okay. Hi, good morning. Thanks for the introduction. So I'm presenting our service in this hackathon that we call Tag Vision, keeping it simple. So this is our team. We are 4 colleagues from UC3M, and we were quite motivated and enthusiastic to participate in this hackathon. But, you know, when we start working on this hackathon, at the beginning, our progress was not the expected one. But it was Saturday night, so from Saturday night, we start progressing, and in fact, we finished before the deadline of the hackathon. But let's focus on the business goal. Recently, Rob Candelio, the head of Unilever Haircare business, said textually that they operate very much on our customer terms, how they engage, how they rate products, and how they serve. So, based on this statement, we could say that Unilever Haircare's product business drivers are engagement, sharing, and opinion. And in this service, we will focus on the first 2 of them. But let's say that opinion could be easily included in our service. So with this in mind, we can summarize that our challenge is to predict engagement, sharing in top trends related to Unilever hair products in Twitter. So with this in mind, let's talk about our service. First, we have a module that is in charge of predicting engagement. So we have data from Twitter, and from this Twitter dataset, we can say that the engagement is related with the number of tweets, and sharing is related with the number of retweets. So based on this dataset, we process all this data, and parsing and storing in a database, and afterward, in step 3, we model with this data in order to predict top trends, using just a simple linear regression. It was simple, but it works. In fact, related with accuracy, we obtained the second highest accuracy value from all of the teams in the hackathon, and the highest one in Tier 2. It was scalable. We were able to run for more than 500,000 hashtags in 30 minutes. And finally, the low IT cost associated to this service is just less than $200 per month. Okay, so with this in mind, once that we have predicted the top trends from the dataset, from the initial dataset, okay, we have predicted this top trend, but maybe not all of them are related with the business of our client. In this case, with Unilever is our client. So we leverage just simple semantic similarity using some category-specific keywords from our client. So the idea is to extract the most relevant top trends associated to the business of Unilever in order to have a list of the more relevant trends. So in step 6, you can observe that these relevant trends are associated to hair care. And the next question is, okay, is this tool extensible? If we have in mind the 13 brands that Unilever has that have more than 1 billion sales, it's easy to make it to extend our service. In fact, you have just to define different category-specific keywords per product. And using this service, you could run it just in a couple of hours. So just now focus on the business use cases. In this case, we have some examples related with business, but you know, we are academic, data science, and maker. And you are the business guy, so you are the ones that should provide us these use cases. And just to give you an idea of our service, let us introduce this.
Okay, so this is just a quick mock-up that we prepared. So as I'll show you at the end, we have a live demo that you can go to a server and check it. So, well, when you enter our service, the first thing you will need to do is process the data, right? So this will appear a few images that will be loading until the model is computed. Once the model is computed, you will have a console in which you can select different parameters. For instance, the top hashtags is telling you which percentage of the hashtags that we have predicted you want to focus on. The second menu tell you how many hashtags you want to visualize, right? 50, 60, whatever you want. And finally, you can choose a filter, right? That filter is associated to the keywords, the category keywords of different products. And here, what you can see is the result for the category hair, right? So we have the non-filtered trends, and then the filtered trends afterwards. So we did the same for another category that is beauty, and you can see that the filtered cloud tag changed. So, sorry, what else we can offer? So what we can do is for a given category, we can rank the trends, okay, from those that are going to be more popular to those that are going to be less popular. And for each one of them, you can click on them, and what you will get is a list of the influencers based on the cloud score associated to those users. So you can know who is the people talking about the hashtag that you are interested in. And finally, what you could do with our tool is an analysis comparison with your competitors. You can choose a set of hashtags that are interested to your products and a set of hashtags that are the competitors' hashtags in the same context. And you can compare how they are doing in terms of engagement and sharing. And here you have an example with Unilever hashtag and a competitor hashtag is made up. But what you can see is that Unilever would be very happy if this would be the result, okay? So this gives you an advantage to predict and plan for the future. And well, as I said, you have a live demo, you can go there. Don't go all together because it's just a small server, please. And well, if you have questions, please ask, and just remember, Tag Vision, keeping it simple. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Does the jury have any questions for UC3M? Nico.
Yes, hello. Thank you very much. Just one clarification. You mentioned there that these 14 or 15 brands with over $1 billion of sales that Unilever is focusing on. I used to work with a lot of Unilever research, so I know these brands are the key for their business. So are you saying that with the one deployment where the IT cost is less than $200 a month, that all of that processing can be handled so that it never takes more than a couple of hours?
That's correct, exactly. So we could run, because our methodology is so scalable, so simple, we can run it for a set of keywords categories for multiple products in very low time, like, you know, a couple of hours is a rough estimation, but it could be even less.
So in other words, you could kind of keep it going in real time, so to speak, with a couple of hours of delay max.
Yeah, we can repeat this analysis every day if needed, you know. And also, our tool has the ability, because we slice the data in different with different time scalability, right? So we can predict it at the level of weeks, months, quarters, whatever you want, and it's super fast.
And how did you arrive at that number when you say IT cost is less than 200? I understand you're referring just to the hardware cost, but how did you calculate that?
So we use the Amazon Web Service calculator. We estimate a server equivalent to the one that we have used during the hackathon, and we estimate the cost. And you know, we say less than $200 a month, because this number is an estimation considering that we are using the server 50% of the time. That is not the case, right? We are going to use much less. And then having some flexible service in Amazon, I'm sure that you can get it much cheaper than this.
Okay, thanks. Thanks. That's awesome.
Thank you. Any other questions from the jury? All right. Thank you very much.
Thank you.